Story 1. My 26F BF 26M wants to have a child, and I am not ready, so he went behind my back what to do. I'm a 26-year-old woman, and my boyfriend also 26, and I have been together for 3 years. We met in graduate school, where we were in the same class, and after 6 months of dating, we moved in together. He's a wonderful boyfriend, kind, generous, and always willing to help out. We split household responsibilities 50-50ths. We're both in the same field, but he works from home while I go to the office 3 days a week. I handle breakfast, and he takes care of dinner on the days I go to work. All in all, things have been great between us. When we first started dating, we discussed everything from kids to marriage. We both agreed that we would wait until we're financially stable before taking that next step. While we're comfortable now and no longer living paycheck to paycheck, we still have student loans to pay off. Otherwise, we're debt-free. Recently, though, things have taken an unexpected turn. Over the past few weeks, my boyfriend has been trying to be intimate without using protection. While I'm on birth control, we had always used protection in the past. A few weeks ago, we were at his parents' house, and his mom made a comment about how beautiful our children would be and how excited she was to be a grandmother. I brushed it off as a sweet, casual remark, as his parents have always been kind to me, but they've never brought up children before. Then last week, I noticed my birth control pills were missing from the medicine cabinet. I asked my boyfriend about them, and he claimed he didn't know where they went. I thought he may have accidentally thrown them out and bought a new pack. But when I couldn't find that one either this week, I confronted him again. This time, he admitted that he had taken them because he wanted to start trying for a baby. I was shocked. We had not discussed having children, and we hadn't even talked about getting engaged within last 2 years. I reminded him that we had agreed to wait until we were more financially stable. He explained that he and his mom had talked and believed now was the right time to have a baby, since we're no longer struggling financially. It hurt to hear that his mom was involved in this decision. I asked him if that was why she had brought up children, and he admitted that he had told his parents and friends we were trying for a baby, but had asked them not to tell me, claiming I wanted to surprise everyone. I feel betrayed. Instead of discussing it with me, he went behind my back. I told him I needed some time alone, so I went to my parents' house. I haven't told him the full story, just that he's on a work trip, and I didn't want to be alone. I'm really confused about what to do next. I love him, but this feels like a huge betrayal. I'm not sure how to move forward. His mom has been calling me, and she spoke to my mom, but hasn't mentioned anything about the situation to her. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Story 2. I, 35F, have proof of my husband's 39M affair with our sitter, 19F. What now? I've been married to my husband for 8 years now, and for the first time in the 10 years we've been together, I can't stand to see him. This man ruined our marriage and family for some 19-year-old. Divorce is the only option for me, because I don't think I will ever love him again. It all started 1 year ago when we were looking for a babysitter for our 2 sons. I, along with my husband, work full-time. After putting the word out, one of our neighbors informed us that their daughter was interested in the job. Fake name, Maggie came by for us to interview. She had experience, and she was able to work around our schedule. At the time, it seemed like a win all-around situation. We found someone responsible, and Maggie found a job that could help her out. I never once was insecure about Maggie's looks or worried about my husband being attracted to her. Maggie did a great job taking care of our sons. We were both happy with her. Around last July, I started to get suspicious because of how my husband and Maggie would talk with each other. I came home one day to find my husband making Maggie laugh uncontrollably. I tried to forget about it because I felt like I was becoming jealous of this younger woman. It stayed in the back of my head after that. The second sign was when I was changing the sheets in our guest bedroom, I found strands of blonde hair. No one in my family has blonde hair. I'm a brunette. The last guests we had over were my in-laws, who don't have blonde hair either. The only person who's been in my house recently with blonde hair is Maggie. That's not a big deal, though, because maybe she laid down after getting tired or something. Then there was the whole car fiasco. Husband out of nowhere one day asked my opinion about buying Maggie a new car for her birthday. This took me by surprise, because it's not like Maggie doesn't have a car. Also, I don't think we're in the situation to be giving away cars as gifts. Husband's argument was that her car was old, and if she took our boys out, it would be safer in a new car. I told him no on the car, and that was final. After the car situation, alarms are going off in my head. At this point, I go from thinking I'm just jealous of Maggie to there's something going on here. Now Maggie is coming to work in skirts with heels on. She went from sweatpants and not wearing makeup to now have makeup on and her hair done. Then I notice her toes are painted black. My husband has a thing for feet. I've known this for our entire relationship. His favorite color on my toes is black. Now I have this 19-year-old coming to work in high heels with her toes done in my husband's favorite color. At this point, I'm 99% sure something is going on. I get a hold of his phone. I'm looking into messages from Maggie. Maggie is in a group chat with us. All contact and scheduling is supposed to be done in that group chat with all three of us in it. I find Maggie being texted by my husband separately in his phone. The messages obviously had been deleted by him, since the last message was from earlier today, a bunch of laughing emojis from her. I did some research and realized I could recover messages that had been deleted. What I uncovered was probably all of the evidence I needed. It's basically telling Maggie about how our marriage is basically over. They talk about spending the rest of their lives together. How she can move in as soon as I move out. She makes a statement, your sons won't even miss her when they have me as their mom. That one really hurt me because the audacity of this woman to talk about my sons like that. Also, I found Snapchat on my husband's phone, which he's never had before this. I have a copy of the conversations on my phone. I also have them on video kissing in our backyard. They must have forgot the security camera was there. Now that I have all of this evidence, I'm not sure how to approach it. Do I talk to a divorce attorney before I confront my husband? Do I confront my husband at all about this? Because I would like an explanation about why he thought it was a good idea to throw away our marriage of some 19-year-old wanting to play housewife. Also, do I make any financial moves before blowing this up? As of right now, I've been pretending like everything is okay. I don't think he suspects anything. I'm too embarrassed to talk to my friends and family about this. I feel like I'm still in shock over all this. It just all feels like a terrible dream that I'll eventually wake up from. Story 3. My 28F best friend, 28F, kissed my husband, 27M, and it's destroying me. How do I proceed? I, 28F, have been with my husband, 27M, for 6 years, married for 4 years, and we have 2 kids, 3F, almost 1F. Everything in our relationship is perfect for us. He's the best husband and father to our kids that I could have asked for. I am absolutely in love with him, and his actions and words have always shown me that he feels the same way. There's no better feeling than going to sleep in his arms every night. Last weekend, my husband and I had some friends over, and we were having a barbecue. We were all outside in the backyard, surrounding my husband who was on the grill. As the food got closer to being ready to eat, we all started sitting at our backyard table. Once the food was all ready and at the table, my husband went inside to use the washroom and get another case of beer. I didn't realize that my best friend, 28F, had followed him. When he was coming back out, my best friend hid behind the wall separating our kitchen and living room and surprised him by pulling him and forcing a kiss. My husband immediately pushed her back and yelled, WTF. She immediately started crying and ran out of the house and left. My husband came back into the backyard and asked to speak to me privately and immediately told me what had just happened. I was shocked and told him that it would be okay and that we could talk after everyone else left. I managed to put on appearances for the next couple of hours, but I was mentally distraught. After everyone left, my husband sat me down and told me what happened and showed me the footage from our living room camera. It was exactly as my husband has described it. My best friend of 10 years, the person who I treated as my literal sister, forcibly kissed my husband. After the 3rd date with my husband, she was the one I told that I was going to marry him. She knows how much I love him and how strong our relationship is, and still she chose to try to come in the middle. For fuck's sake, our 3-year-old calls Hermione. My best friend tried showing up the next day just to talk, and my husband had to hold me back from beating the shit out of her, and he kicked her out and told her to not come back. It's been almost a week now, and I'm nowhere close to moving on. I don't blame my husband one bit. He's completely innocent in this, and if anything, he's the victim. I've been lying down on my husband's chest and just crying every day and night. I'm so angry and frustrated and don't know what to do. My husband has been amazing, and like always, he just gets it and understands how I'm feeling. He brought me flowers almost every day and cooked my favorite meals multiple times in the last few days. I love and appreciate him all the more for it. I just don't know how I'm going to move on and trust any of my friends again after this. Update 1. After reading a lot of the comments, I realized that it was possible that my husband was having an affair with my best friend, and he knew about the camera and acted accordingly to make sure I didn't suspect an affair. Her running out of the house crying, my husband showing me the footage before I asked, and his love bombing would all make sense if he was cheating with my best friend. I can't be with a cheater, and I had to make sure my husband was loyal to me. On a side note, I made sure that my husband was okay and well after being forcibly kissed, and he said he was fine and he didn't feel assaulted and it was just a kiss. He said that he was just worried about me because he knew how much this friendship meant to me. Over the weekend, I looked through my husband's phone and laptop while he was doing yard work. Both of us have full access to each other's phones, and I didn't find anything out of the ordinary in my husband's phone. I checked his messages, WhatsApp, social media, and deleted messages folder. There was nothing suspicious on his phone or laptop. This morning after my husband left to go to work, I arranged for our next-door neighbors, a friendly, elderly couple, to watch the girls for a couple of hours, and I went to my best friend's place without telling her I was coming. She works afternoon shifts, so I knew she would be there in the morning. She let me in, and she seemed scared, and I demanded to know the truth. She said that she had always been really attracted to my husband, and she had tried making advances before, but my husband always just shut her down. She admitted to being jealous of me and my perfect life with my husband. I should have seen the signs earlier. When our firstborn was learning to speak, my best friend would always try to get her to call her mama. When she held our daughter for the first time, she accidentally sat in my husband's lap. She has been trying to replace me for years, and I never noticed, and my husband kept rejecting her advances because he only wanted me. She said that she had drank more than she should have at the barbecue, and she decided to try her luck when she saw my husband was going inside alone. I forced her to show her phone as well, and again, there was nothing implying an affair, and all the messages appeared to line up with my husband's phone, so I knew there was nothing deleted or manipulated. She apologized profusely and asked me to not end our friendship over this. I told her that she's nothing to me, and she could have been happy for me, and I treated her like a sister all these years just for her to try and steal my life. Now, I know for sure that my husband never cheated. The guilt for doubting him is eating me up. If I tell him that I snooped through his phone and laptop and met up with my ex-best friend to verify that he wasn't cheating, it's going to impact our marriage, and he'll be very disappointed in me for not trusting him, and if anything, he will lose his trust in me. If I don't tell him, the guilt is going to continue eating me up. I've never lied or kept secrets from him before, and I don't want to start now, but this is an impossible choice. He's only ever shown me how much he loves and cherishes me, and he doesn't deserve to be betrayed like this. I will update more when I tell him the truth. Update. I told my husband everything, that I looked through his phone and laptop, and that I confronted ex-best friend. I showed him both Reddit posts and told him that even the few comments that speculated that he was having an affair made me paranoid, and I acted on it. I apologized to him for doubting him and thanked him for always being an amazing husband and always turning down her advances, and for spoiling me, especially when I was down. He said that he understands, and he said he should have told me earlier about her trying her luck earlier. I'm also starting therapy next week to figure out my paranoia and trust issues, process the end of my friendship, and in general try to get into a better mental space so I can be better as an individual, wife, and mother.